Happy Friday! Love Fridays. If you have to rank the days of the week, you would have to put Friday in the top 7. I believe you would. It is the 23rd day of July, 2021. I am Dan Kuntz. Lots to get to today. Beautiful morning. We had a gorgeous day yesterday, just what the doctor ordered. Lots of sunshine, just a nice light breeze, and 83 degrees. That's like perfect. Going to be a little warmer today. Warmer still over the weekend. Forecast details are coming up. We need rain, and we ain't got any. I'm going to throw a rather startling statistic your way when we take our tour around the valley with our Valley View cameras, but get ready for sunny and warm weather right through the rest of July, it looks like, and right on into August. News, we'll have the latest on the Cedar Creek fire up near Mazzana. It grew again yesterday, but not as much as it has been. They had some pretty good weather conditions to fight that fire. We'll get the latest to you on that. Also, the air quality up in Winthrop is, well, it's unfit to breathe. Oh, I think we're going to have the Billy Goat camera again this morning to show you how bad the air is up to the north. Sports, a couple of pitching duels yesterday. First of all, the Wenatchee Apple Sox won. They took 2 of 3 from Walla Walla. They're in town this weekend to take on the Yakima Valley Pippins. We will have tonight's game live right here on the NCW Live channel. We'll take to the air at 6:30. First pitch, 6:35. And in Seattle, Sean Manaea was just phenomenal last night. Unfortunately, he plays for the Athletics. We'll have highlights of that. The obscure holiday today in history, some celebrity birthdays. Everybody is entitled to Mike Minardi's opinion. And at midnight last night, at 12:01, so just about 7 hours ago, is when they closed all DNR lands, all Department of Natural Resources lands in eastern Washington to the public because of the high wildfire danger. And we're going to replay the press conference that was held by Hillary Franz, the Commissioner of Public Lands. We're going to have that for you again in the back half of the hour, so you are prepared to the do's and don'ts, which is basically don'ts. It's one big don't is what it is. All right, 2 minutes after the hour. 64 degrees outside of our studios. Let's take our tour around the valley. We'll begin with the cross camera, and we are looking good. Just not a couple of light high clouds, and that's really about it. Yesterday at this time, it was a little hazier to the north from that view. It doesn't look too bad now. As you can see, the shadows are longer. We're losing about 2 minutes of daylight per day now. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but it's starting to get a little more obvious. Still got a lot of summer to go, of course. The rest of July, all of August, and 2/3 of September. This is the statistic I was talking about. In the 144 days since March 1st of this year, we've had 6 days of measurable rain at Pangbourne, where they keep track of these things. That's it. 6 days of measurable rain in the last 144 days, going all the way back to March 1st. And even when we got measurable rain, it was almost nothing. 1/100th of an inch, 3/100ths of an inch. That's it. Even the rain that we did get was just so light it barely registered on the rain gauge. Yeah, we need rain. We need it big time. Camera number 2, where are we off to? 3M. We're going to go visit Lake Chelan from the Union Valley camera, I'm guessing. I am guessing correctly. Good, I'm 2 for 2. Well, I always get the first one right. It's always the cross cam. If it's up and running, good morning, Union Valley. You can see how baked dry the hills are there. That's on the north shore of Lake Chelan, looking over to the south shore of Lake Chelan from our Union Valley camera, and a stunning view at that. Camera number 3. Oh, baby, back up to the Lake Wenatchee area. I can't remember what we call the camera. Is it Cole's Corner? We call it the Cole's Corner camera, and that's fair enough to me. Off in the upper right-hand corner, you can barely make out Fish Lake. You can see the very bottom of Lake Wenatchee. To your left, you can see Dirty Face on the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Tucked around the corner there is the Cater Glen Complex, a beautiful area, very comfortable. Skeeters are gone. You can see Nason Creek, as a matter of fact, winding its way down as well. Beautiful view there, and I think we're off to Billy Goat. Yeah, if that's even a word. Alta Lake is in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, the Columbia River. You can barely make out Pateris on the left-hand side of your screen and the Methow River. Right now, the air quality in Winthrop is 472, and again, it goes from 0, which is oxygen, about as pure as it gets, to 500. It doesn't go above 500. And it's at 472 in Winthrop right now, 166 in Twisp, 162 in Omak. That's unhealthy. That's just bad. Now it gets better As the day progresses, we'll have a story on that when we get to the news. Good morning to our friends up in the Okanagan County area. Yikes, hang in there, folks. That does not look fun. We're used to it down here in the Wenatchee Valley. We've had it a bunch of times too. I guess maybe it's their turn. Sorry. 5 minutes after the hour from the National Weather Service. Here we go. Sunny, warm. We're going to be warmer than yesterday. We were 83 yesterday. We'll be in the lower 90s today. We got another upper level ridge. It's a big one. It's going to start heading our way. It's going to set up camp and it's going to hang around. It's going to set up camp, but it can't have a campfire. Those are banned. 97 on Saturday, triple digits Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Warm, warm, sunny, hot, no rain, no rain, no rain, no rain. We need rain. Here we go. It is heading into the last full week in July, and it's July weather. It's been unseasonably warm. Last couple of days have been nice, but all in all, it's been a much hotter July than normal, and July is normally pretty darn hot for most people. 6 minutes after the hour, quick 1 minute break, and then we'll have your news in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
Kids are resilient. I just love their energy. They bounce back so quickly. I love the stories they tell. I love just their charisma, their character. I love to see that subtle smile that you pull out of a kid, you know, when you start talking with them about something they really like. I just love what I do, and I can't imagine I would be as happy doing anything else.
64 degrees in downtown Wenatchee. It's a very beautiful Friday morning. We'll be in the lower 90s, right around 90, 91 for the afternoon high today. Then we're right back into the triple digits, close to it Saturday, right around 100 degrees on Sunday, and it's going to be sunny and hot all next week. And we'll start out our news with the latest on the Cedar Creek fire near Mazama. It continued to grow on Thursday, but at a much slower rate due to lighter winds and cooler temperatures. That is the latest map that we just got not long ago. The latest estimate has the fire at 18,634 acres. That's up from 14,857 acres on Wednesday. Now, although heavy smoke in the morning hours continued to hamper efforts to fight the fire with aerial drops, firefighters were able to drop water from helicopters to decrease the spread of the fire to the south by yesterday afternoon. Dozer and hand lines were opened west of Highway 20 from Early Winters to Gobbler's Knob, and that will tie into already existing fire lines from previous wildfires at Thompson Ridge. Highway 20, which remains closed to all traffic, is acting as the fire line on the northern edge of the Cedar Creek fire. With those big wildfires burning nearby, Winthrop recorded the worst air quality in the country yesterday morning. The National Weather Service said the heavy smoke led the Okanagan County community to record a 416 on the air quality index at 7 a.m. That's considered hazardous, as I just mentioned. Right now in Winthrop, it's at 472. By 2:30 yesterday afternoon, Winthrop did improve to 175 on the scale. That's still unhealthy. Twist was at 197 yesterday afternoon. Right now it's at 166. Also having unhealthy air quality on Thursday afternoon because of the smoke, Moses Lake, Pateros, and Okanagan. Leavenworth firefighters and a U.S. Forest Service firefighting crew kept a brush fire to a minimum in a popular city park on Wednesday afternoon. The fire broke out just after 3 p.m. on Blackbird Island. That's part of Leavenworth's waterfront park complex. It started alongside one of the hiking trails on the island and quickly spread through the undergrowth. Chelan County Fire District 3 crews had to pump water from the Wenatchee River, while Forest Service Crew 74 sent 20 members to dig a fire line. Assistant Chief Glenn Broadesett said the fire was contained to about 2,500 square feet. The incident is believed to be human-caused, possibly from a discarded cigarette butt. The team investigating that fatal 2020 shooting in which a Douglas County Sheriff's deputy killed a Wenatchee man, that team has turned over its report to the county prosecutor. Deputy Nick English shot and killed 29-year-old Thomas Mathis III while responding to a domestic disturbance 911 call to Rock Island on April 21st of the year 2020. At the time, police said Mathis was a guest at the home on Norma Lane. Police said at some point, Mathis armed himself with a handgun. English was placed on administrative leave after the shooting. He has since returned to active duty. Douglas County Prosecutor Gordon Edgar must determine whether the shooting was justified. A 20-year-old Ellensburg man was hospitalized early Thursday morning after he was hit by a vehicle while he was apparently walking on or along Interstate 90. The Washington State Patrol said they are now looking for the driver of the car. They hit Bradley Holt about 1:30 in the morning near the eastbound on-ramp at milepost 106. Trooper John Bryant said Holt had earlier been told by a trooper to leave the on-ramp. He complied, but apparently made his way back onto the interstate. Holt was transported to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle with a broken leg. Bryant said it's possible that if Holt was hit by a semi, the driver is unaware of the incident. Troopers are looking for possible surveillance footage from nearby truck stops to get a better idea of what happened. Bryant said Holt has not been, quote, super cooperative, unquote. And that's what's making headlines. 12 minutes after the hour, we'll have news for you. It's been a busy news week in the bullpen, but we're getting it done, and we'll have another newscast for you tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock with Apple Sox baseball at 6:30 with the preview of the news tonight. Here's Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, expect temperatures near normal for this time of year today, but then a big warm-up by this weekend. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has the latest on the Apple Sox as well as that big series between the Mariners and A's. That and all the day's news stories coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. If you want to drop us a note and let us know how we're doing, don't forget, if you want to compliment Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, you're more than welcome to do so. We'd love to hear from you. You can use our Facebook page. Just go to our Facebook page and use the Messenger app there. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com, and go to our website, ncwlife.com. Our homepage, there's a contact us icon there as well. When we come back in sports, simultaneous pitching gems yesterday for the Wenatchee Apple Sox. Yay! For the Seattle Mariners, not so much. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel. Crystal's Restaurant and Lounge in Leavenworth has a warm environment to enhance your dining experience. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Crystal's Intimate Lounge is a wonderful place to relax and dine with beautiful views of the mountains. Do you have a special occasion coming up? Call Crystal's to reserve their event space. Whether your event is grand, intimate, or casual, Crystal's provides unforgettable food and superb service. Crystal's Restaurant and Lounge, proud to be serving fabulous food and drinks.
Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball is back on the NCW Live channel. Join us for live coverage as the Apple Sox take on the West Coast League. It's sponsored by Mini Blinds and More, One Way Construction, Sangster Motors, and Save Mart. Join us as we celebrate summer one inning at a time with the Apple Sox on your local TV station, the NCW Live channel.
Back at it at 14 minutes after the hour. Two pitchers' duels going on simultaneously at extreme edges of the state. We'll get to the one in Seattle in a moment. First, it's to Walla Walla, a town so nice they named it twice. The Wenatchee Apple Sox edged the Sweets 1-0 to take 2 out of 3 in the series. It was a night to strike or be struck out, as we hear from the voice of the Apple Sox, our good friend Storm and Joel Norman.
If you like strikeouts, then Thursday night's ball game at Borleski Stadium was for you. The Apple Sox struck out 15 times, but struck out 12 Walla Walla Sweets hitters. Jacob Hughes tossed 6 scoreless innings, striking out 8. Gavin Grell tossed the final 3, striking out 4 in that time. Wenatchee picked up a 1-0 win thanks to scoring a run on 2 walks and 2 errors in the top of the 9th inning. It was a nail-biter start to finish, but the Apple Sox were able to pick up the series victory and head home for a crucial series against the Yakima Valley Pippins. Wenatchee is within striking range of a playoff spot, but are looking to get some big wins against the Pippins and looking for fan support with first pitch on Friday beginning at 6:35. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you, Joel. Utah's Gavin Garrell picked up his first win of the season in relief. He struck out 4 to give him 24 strikeouts on the season in just 22 innings. As Joel mentioned, the Apple Sox return home tonight for a big series against the Yakima Valley Pippins at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. And yep, we'll be there. We'll have it live on the NCW Live Channel. Eric with the play-by-play beginning at 6:30 with the pregame. To the West Coast League scores from last night. Let's see here at Civic Stadium in Port Angeles. Bryce Matthews had a 3-run home run. That highlighted a 4-run 5th inning for the lefties. They beat Ridgefield 9-8. West Chambers went deep for Ridgefield, who saw their 6-game winning streak come to an end. At Storyfield, Michael Benz and 3 other pitchers combined on a 5-hit shutout of Portland in Cowlitz's 2-0 win. And at Yakima County Stadium, the Pippins completed a 3-game sweep of Bend with an 8-4 victory. The bottom of the order did the damage for Yakima Valley. Alex Shanks, Travis Holder, and Aaron Plante each had 2 hits and combined for 5 RBIs. So the standings, as we head into the weekend, Wenatchee has a chance with a sweep to tie Yakima Valley atop the North Division. Now, the Pippins won the first half title, so they're already in the playoffs. If they win the second half title as well, the team in the division with the second best overall record for the entire season would be the wild card team in the playoffs. Right now, that's Bellingham. They have the second best overall record in the North. Wenatchee and Walla Walla are 1.5 games back of the Bells. Of course, this only matters if Yakima Valley repeats as champions of the second half. The schedule across the league tonight, besides the Pippins at the Sox, you got Cowlitz visiting Port Angeles. Bellingham will host Ridgefield. Corvallis has a non-league game after getting the week off against Medford. And Walla Walla will host Bend at 7:05. Now, earlier we talked about great pitching in Walla Walla. Well, there was great pitching at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners' Chris Flexen took on Oakland's Sean Manaea. And, well, Manaea was dominant. He struck out a career-high 13. He earned his 7th win of the season.
And he swings and misses, and that is strikeout number 11. And he got him swinging. A good slider. He took a little bit more off. Strikes out Kelnick for the second time, and that is a career-high 12 strikeouts for Sean Manaea in the game. He's done that in 6 1/3 innings. And Crawford waves at a slider. 13th strikeout for Sean Manaea in 7 innings.
Seattle just couldn't hit that guy last night, with the exception of Tom Murphy. He did get something going in the 7th inning.
1-2. Murphy rides one deep left. Giddy up, baby. Giddy up and gone. The Murph has the Mariners on the board. It's 2-1. Oakland into 7th. Murphy with his 8th home run, his 21st run batted in. Some good 2-strike hitting by Tom Murphy.
Chris Flexen took the loss. He went 5 1/3 innings. He gave up 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 strikeout, and 2 walks. Manager Scott Service of the Mariners said, hey, you got to hand it to Oakland's starting pitcher.
Not the way we wanted to start the series here against the A's, but they dominated the zone tonight. They beat us at our own game. They really did. I thought Manaea was outstanding. It's as good as we've probably ever seen him. A really good fastball. He had great command of the slider, curveball, and threw the changeup whenever he wanted to. So you got to tip your hat to him. He was really good. I think we struck out 13 times against him. On the flip side, I thought Chris Flexen threw the ball well. He really did. Gave kind of the 1 scratch run there in the 5th, and then the back-to-back doubles in the 6th. But the 5th inning ended up getting extended for him and ate up 28, 30 pitches, something like that, and then kind of shortened his night a little bit. So again, not a whole lot to talk about tonight, other than their pitching really took it to us tonight, and you got to give Manaea credit. They do have very good starting pitching. It's one of the strengths of their ball club, and it showed tonight.
Athletics and Mariners, Game 2 of the 4-game series tonight, 7:10. Yusei Kikuchi will pitch. He'll go against Frankie Montes on the American League West last night. Eric Haase, Zach Short, Victor Reyes all homered for the Tigers, and Detroit beating Texas 7-5. The Tigers won 7 in a row, and Jack Mayfield had a 3-run home run, and that was the difference for the Angels. Los Angeles beating the Twins in Minnesota 3-2. In Major League Soccer last night, the Seattle Sounders edged Austin FC 1-0. Raul Ruidiaz scored the game's lone goal in the 67th minute to quiet the big crowd down in Texas.
Rowe. Ruidiaz saw the goalkeeper up his line and scores fantastically. Even by his elevated standards, a truly special goal from Raul Ruidiaz.
Cup success. But what has turned my head and many in the camp of the Seattle Sounders is his buy-in with the young players, his buy-in of being a leader. He understands his role, but it's the ingenuity, the ability to pull off the spectacular. In my word, he is just silenced. 20,000 plus here in Austin, Texas.
Far from regular crew. One extraordinary goal leads to one extraordinary result. Raul Ruidiaz with one for the annals of MLS history.
That was impressive. Next up for the Sounders, Sunday, they'll be at Sporting KC, which is in Kansas City, which is in Missouri, which is in the United States. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. 22 minutes after the hour, hot dogs, Armour hot dogs. I can't sing anymore, or we'll have to pay royalties. There it is. It's National Hot Dog Day. It was also National Vanilla Ice Cream Day, but you got to go with a hot dog, the all-American staple, even though it was invented in the 13th century in Germany. Well, these sausages were anyway. And then nobody really knows the history of hot dogs. Obviously, German immigrants came to the United States, brought their sausages with them during the 19th century, and then starting about 1860, 1870, food vendors, pushed their carts all over lower Manhattan and New York and started selling hot dogs and buns. And they still do. They're all over New York City. They steam the hot dogs and they steam the buns. They're quite good. Then they moved over to St. Louis, Missouri. And St. Louis played a significant role in the development of the hot dog because it was the owner of the St. Louis Browns in 1893 who started to sell hot dogs at baseball games and also at the amusement park that he owned, and it just took right off. And then it went to the big World's Fair in Chicago, and people liked it there. And before you know it, we're down the road with a hot dog. And there are various geographical culinary hot dog places that have different kinds of hot dogs. Just the classic Coney Island dog. You got the New York dog, the Chicago dog, the Fenway Park, the Dodger dog. There's even a Seattle cream cheese dog, which is not very appetizing. Fun facts about hot dogs: 9 billion hot dogs are eaten in this country alone every year, and 7 billion of those 9 billion hot dogs that are eaten every year are consumed between Memorial Day and Labor Day, which is not surprising. It's the summertime kind of a staple. 155 million hot dogs are consumed on Independence Day alone. That's a lot. 26 million hot dogs are consumed at baseball stadiums throughout the country every year. In 2014, 7-Eleven sold over 60 million hot dogs. Last year, 7-Eleven sold 110 million hot dogs. I had a hot dog at 7-Eleven once. I think I still have some of it in me. The most popular condiment for hot dogs, you see it there, mustard. Now, I'm not going to get into this whole ketchup on a hot dog debate. It apparently pops up on social media now and again. I will say it just once. Ketchup does not belong on a hot dog. There, I said it. It's mustard and onions. Maybe a little bit of kraut. 3M, my partner in crime, puts ketchup on her hot dogs. Ketchup is second, by the way, is the most popular condiment to put on a hot dog. Mustard is first. Mustard on the hot dog. Can't stress that enough. 25 minutes after the hour today in history. On a much more sober note, the long hot summer of 1967, there were race riots. There were 159 race riots in this country. in the summer of 67. They had riots in Atlanta, Boston, Cincinnati, Buffalo, Tampa, Newark, Birmingham, Chicago, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Rochester, Plainfield, Toledo. None on the West Coast, ironically enough. But the worst by far broke out on this date in Detroit, July 23rd, 1967, on a hot, muggy night in July. They went to break up a party, the police did. In the early morning hours of July 23rd, 1967, it was an unlicensed weekend drinking club in Detroit. They called those Blind Pigs. It was in an office building. The police showed up expecting like 10 or 12 people in there, but they were having a big party to celebrate the return of two GIs from the Vietnam War. There were 82 people in this unlicensed bar, and the police decided to arrest everybody in the bar. Well, since they had to arrange for all of these cop cars to come down to this location and the paddy wagons, what have you, to haul all those people away, a bunch of people showed up. The onlookers showed up. They gathered in the street. They witnessed the raid. Before you know it, things started getting a little out of hand. The statistics, after the Army National Guard came out and the United States Army came out, and when it was all said and done, after 5 days, 43 people were dead, 1,189 were injured, 7,200 people were arrested, and 400 buildings were burned or destroyed. If you've ever heard the song Black Day in July by Gordon Lightfoot, it's about the Detroit riots, which broke out 54 years ago today. And finally, when you get on an airplane, say you're taking a commercial flight from Montreal to Edmonton, you're going to assume that the airplane is going to have enough fuel to make it from Montreal to Edmonton with some left over, right? That's the theory. Well, on this date, July 23rd, 1983, 38 years ago today, halfway into its flight from Montreal to Edmonton, Air Canada Flight 143 ran out of gas and landed in Gimli, Manitoba on a closed and decommissioned Canadian Air Force landing strip that had been turned into a drag strip. That's why you see that thing right in the middle of the airport runway. Yeah, it ran out of gas. The crew, what happened was they entered the fuel quantity into the flight computer in kilograms. That's what they were supposed to do, but they mistakenly did the calculation in pounds per liter. And so when they stuck the dipstick into the tank, do we have enough gas to get from Montreal to Edmonton? They thought they did. They didn't. They were at 41,000 feet when they ran out of gas, but the pilots were able to land it. Imagine landing an airplane with absolutely no sound at all because the engines aren't running. 28 minutes after the hour. Check the gas. Birthdays. Happy birthday, Calvert DeForest, the late, great Larry Bud Millman, born 100 years ago today, rose to fame as being kind of the mascot, goofy, everyday man on David Letterman's two late night shows, Late Night with David Letterman, and then yeah, it's just, he was known as Larry Bud Millman. His real name is Calvert DeForest. Funny guy. Just, you want to laugh for a little while, just Google Larry Bud Millman and enjoy it. He was born 100 years ago today, Calvert DeForest. He died a number of years ago at the age of 85. Woody Harrelson is 60 years old today. Somebody needs to tell him. Happy birthday to Slash. His real name is Saul Hudson. He's, of course, the guitarist with Guns N' Roses. We have Slash's picture. Did I put it up there? There's Slash. Happy birthday, Saul. Born in Great Britain, American now. Slash, great guitarist. He's 56 years old today. Somebody needs to tell him. And happy birthday to the Glove, Gary Payton, the greatest point guard in Seattle Supersonics history, still a Seattle legend, leading the way to get the Sonics back to Seattle or getting a new basketball team for Seattle. Gary Payton, the Glove, is 53 years old today, and he knows you don't have to tell him. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Mignotti, and then we're going to replay the press conference from Tuesday that was held up at Birch Mountain Road after the conclusion of the Red Apple Fire with Commissioner of Public Lands Hillary Franz, because today, as of now, all DNR lands in Eastern Washington are closed to the public. We'll get you that information again coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
as well throw up a screen door to block the summer smoke.
Sometimes it gets
When we
warm.
breathe in the wildfire smoke, we are ingesting hazardous chemicals such as acetic acid and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. A lot of bad stuff, okay?
Well, yeah, that's why we...
Cardboard ain't gonna cut it.
So...
Go to ChelanPUD.org/save today.
Things have changed in the motorsports industry. Short supply and high demand have emptied showrooms. But what hasn't changed are the experts at Doghouse Motorsports. They are here to help you reserve the machine of your choice. Stop by and check out the latest 2022 Husqvarna motorcycles, Ubco, and Intense electric vehicles, and other new additions to the Doghouse Motorsports family of high-quality products.
Over the last year and a half, the industry's absolutely changed, but the Doghouse is still your best option for all your power sports needs.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been providing heating and cooling services in our valley since 1984. Arctic offers a variety of refrigeration and heating services, proudly now selling Bryant Systems. Heating and air conditioning for your home or business. Commercial refrigeration service for your coolers, freezers, and prep tables. And now, full service on gas fireplaces for your home or business. Whatever it takes, Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, the temperature experts.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, okay, this new Gillette commercial, based on their slogan, the best a man could get, that addresses the issues of how we raise our sons. Now, here's my take. Now, what's wrong with teaching our sons not to be bullies and not to harass women? What's wrong with that? Let's face it, for far too long, we have been accepting of certain behaviors from the males in our society, which certainly are not the best a man could be. A real man expresses his strength through gentleness, not by bullying and harassment. And that is the truth. This is Mike Magnotti, and that's not only my opinion, that's reality.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. Now you can fish like a pro without breaking the bank thanks to the ProMag aluminum fishing boat by Smokercraft. It features a great layout with a spacious bow casting platform, huge live wells, and in-floor storage to safely stow your gear. See the Smokercraft line of boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Bob File Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson, where we've got huge news. We've started our Blueberry U-Pick. It's a great time to toss the family in the car and get on out to Blueberry Hills, where you can get the best down-home scratch country cooking around and pick some of the world's most delicious and largest blueberries that have been high desert farmed. This makes for an intense blueberry flavor, and they are so much fun to pick. Our fields are open 8 to 2:30 daily and restaurant from 8 to 3, so come on out and join us.
Flooring is the foundation of decorating. It sets the tone for your home and reflects your lifestyle. At Apple Valley Floors to Go, their goal is to help you make that choice a great experience. You'll find extensive flooring options at their beautiful East Wenatchee showroom. Engineered hardwoods, laminates, vinyl planks, carpeting. Do it yourself or have their professional installation team do the work for you. Family owned and operated in East Wenatchee. You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine-in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located at the beautiful Highlander Golf Course in East Wenatchee. Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner with dine-in or takeout options. Highlander Bar and Grill's friendly staff is here to serve you 7 days a week. Call for reservations Friday night prime rib dinner. Contact Shalane, Highlander Grill's site coordinator, to schedule your corporate event or special occasion today.
I want to first thank everyone for being here, and I know this has been a pretty challenging challenging couple of days in this area, as you can see by the backdrop. Another fire in this community, another difficult set of days and nights with an enormous amount of support and resources and hard work by our local firefighters, our state and federal partners. And as you look around at the aftermath of the Red Apple fire, it's become clear that communities like Wenatchee and others across the state, across eastern Washington, are in significant wildfire risk and danger. I'm relieved to say that the Red Apple fire has been over 80% contained and evacuations have been lifted. I know it's been a trying couple of days. I know late last week when it first hit, we were very concerned about the wind. We were concerned about the evacuations and proximity to homes. We were also concerned about how many other fires we have on the landscape currently, and we're just in early July. It's obviously our ability to be able to say we're 80% contained, and this fire we're able to put to rest very soon and move on to the next one is because of the tireless efforts of our local firefighters, our state firefighters, and our federal firefighters who moved quickly and without hesitation in the face of incredible danger to protect the lives and properties of this community. I want to thank the residents of Washington, Wenatchee, Kashmir, and obviously Sunny Slope neighborhood for their partnership. I know these are scary times. I know every fire season now has become a moment of fear for many communities like Sunny Slope. We would not be where we are today without their support, their trust in our firefighters, and their cooperation. The outcome here is also a testament to the readiness and commitment of our agency, our local firefighters, and our federal partners to deploy resources quickly and strategically. The story of this fire is one of resilience. We had a Type 3 team holding down a Type 1 size incident until help could arrive and complete rapid response. Our expanded fleet of air resources proved to be also a difference, showing once again that a strong initial attack with the swift deployment of air resources is the path forward to fighting back against Washington's annually escalating wildfire crisis. I had the opportunity to talk with a number of local fire chiefs right before this and about how important that partnership is, about making sure that at the local level we have firefighters ready to be deployed immediately, and how our state agencies can work quickly to bring in the air resources and other leadership we need. The issue of having a Type 3 holding down a fort until a Type 1 size incident team comes in is not new to this year. We experienced the same thing last year. We will continue to experience that until we ensure that we have the leadership training at all levels, Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3 in Washington State, and frankly nationally, as we see many of our western states are now in a similar crisis that we're having. On air resources, we have bolstered our air resources like no other year before. We know with the significant drought, we know with the early onset of fire season here, and we know that many of the states across the West Coast are struggling with the same challenge we have of early and long fire season. We needed to make sure we had critical air resources available exclusively for Washington State, so when we needed them, we could call on them and we would have them available. We have currently a total of 25 aircraft at our disposal on exclusive contract. This is going to be absolutely essential as we move forward with this fire season. I just can't say enough how grateful I am for the strong partnership we have with our local, state, and federal agencies in being able to get on these fires quickly. Already there have been over 900 fires statewide, with an estimated 140,000 acres burned. This is just shy of the total amount of acres that burned in all of 2019, and we aren't even in August yet. I know when I talk to firefighters, fire chiefs across the state, and they say they haven't seen conditions like this in all of their 35 years of fighting fires this early and this challenging. And our firefighters are feeling the strain, working 16-hour days under incredibly dangerous conditions. We've already seen 3 firefighters injured, one of them my own, severely injured during this fire season. I'm very concerned about the months ahead. With limited resources at the national level and limited resources at the state and local level, our men and women are getting tired, and they're going to be even more tired. And the risks only get more significant as we head into more hot, dry days. We can and must do everything in our power to prevent these fires from happening in the first place. And this is where the call to our public comes. 90% of our fires are caused by people. We need every single person of Washington State stepping in and being part of this team, this firefighting team, by preventing these fires in the first place, taking on ownership of making sure we don't start these fires and protecting these communities and protecting our firefighters. And that's why today I'm announcing the temporary closure of all recreation and public access on Department of Natural Resource lands in eastern Washington, effective this Friday. We made this decision based on a number of important factors, including current extreme hot and dry conditions, a forecast that shows no meaningful precipitation on the horizon, the current state of our fuel load, and most importantly, concern for our public safety, for the people of Washington State, for communities like Sunny Slope, and for our firefighters. This decision isn't made lightly. We know this is our summers, and we live for our summers in Washington State. It's a time where we can get outdoors and appreciate blue skies and sun. We can appreciate the beautiful landscape that Washington State provides for us. And it breaks my heart that we've reached this point where we have to take drastic action. But the fact is, these fires are too many, and this season is looking too long. And the risks that are being presented to our residents, our communities, and our firefighters is far too great. And it's going to get very, very difficult as the months go by, knowing that other states are facing the same challenges, the same risks, and we have too few resources here in the state and at the national level to help. I'm asking everyone to help us keep our neighbors, our families, our firefighters safe. Please abide by the burn bans we have put in place. Please do not create a spark in the landscape that could threaten entire communities. Please prevent the tragedies we saw in Malden last year, the tragedy of the Cold Spring Fire where we lost a little boy's life, the tragedies we've seen in the Twist Fire where we lost 3 firefighters. Fortunately, reinforcements are on the way. We are grateful for the state legislature stepping up for 1168 and passing the largest, most historic, transformative investment in wildfire response, forest restoration, and community resilience. Unfortunately, our fire season has come too early, and those resources will not be available to us until later after this fire season is over. And so that's why we need everybody stepping in and doing their part at this moment in time. We have known for years what resources we need to change the trajectory we're on. Our fire chiefs have known, our firefighters have known. And while we've made huge progress, the impacts of these hot, dry summers, of a changing climate, of our fuel load on our forests and our landscape make us at huge risk for wildfires. It's going to take all of us to combat these wildfires. We can't do this alone. We owe it to our firefighters, to our vulnerable communities, and to the next generation who need us to prevent the evergreen state from turning charcoal black. I'm calling on every resident of Washington State to please step up and be part of our firefighting force by not starting any fires. Thank you.
Have a deposit on a campsite or anything like that. What happens with that if I reserve something already, or do I get my money back? Does it just go on hold? What happens with that?
That's a great question. I think obviously if you put a deposit on, we're going to find a way to get you your funds back so that you don't lose that money since you aren't able to actually be there.
And with that, can I piggyback off of that as far as how much money is the state projected to lose with closing of the campgrounds and these sites and parks? Do you know? Do you have
I don't have that amount. Obviously, it's based on the number of people that are going out. What I would just say to you is that we spent over $300 million in 2015 in fighting wildfires. And that doesn't even come close to the number of lives we've lost. You can't put a dollar amount on the homes that have been lost last year. You can't put a dollar amount on the loss of lives that we have had in the last 5 years, with over 5 lives lost. This is about making sure we don't lose any more lives. This is about making sure we're also not wasting resources and time on fighting fires when we would much rather be having our firefighters stay at home, be safe, come back to their families, and have our landscapes not threatened and our communities and neighborhoods threatened.
Commissioner, you mentioned the funds from 1168 will be available this fire season. What is the effective date for those funds to become available to DNR?
So the funding becomes available at the end of July. Some of that funding, obviously, significant amount investment in hiring 100 new firefighters. Those firefighters are going to need training, hiring up. We are expected to have that complete by the end of this year. We also have are be putting order in for new planes. Those aircraft, it's going to take time to do the procurement and purchasing of those. They will be ready by 2022. We are working tirelessly to get our grants and funding out to the local fire districts who are on the front lines and need more resources. They need to be hiring more local firefighters. We need more engine and bulldozer operators. That work, though, takes time. So we're looking at by fall we will be moving aggressively for that. Our forest health work will be happening as that money becomes available, so it'll help on the fuel load. But honestly, we won't be seeing the true effect of 1168 until the 2022 fire season.
Have you had a chance to visit other fire scenes, the Chewea fire, Cuthbane fire that are also burning here in eastern Washington?
I haven't yet at this point in time. I'm headed out to Chewea and also to the one up in Northeast, likely late next week or early next week.
Temporary ban might last? Is there a set of conditions that have to be met for that ban then to be rescinded?
Precipitation. We need to see, right now, we are in extreme fire danger in eastern Washington. It's extreme. And if you look up and down the entire West Coast, other states are also in extreme fire danger. We need us to move from that extreme fire danger to one that is less risk for us to feel safe that we can actually open up those lands again. We didn't make this decision lightly. It's because we have seen an increase in the number of fires started by people on our lands, and the danger has been growing, and it grows as the fire danger and the heat and dry hot weather and wind continues through the next month with no precipitation on the horizon. I think it's also important that if Washington stood alone as the only state in fire danger, it would be a far different situation. But we are not the only one. We've got Oregon right now battling a 360,000 acre fire. We've got fires in California, Arizona, Montana. Every one of them is deploying all of their state resources they have, which is too few to begin with, and calling on federal resources to be brought in. There aren't the resources in the system, and we're in mid-July. I'm used to seeing a list of the fires that we see right now currently in Washington State in mid-August, not mid-July. And I'm nervous and very concerned about what mid-August is going to look like if we're experiencing what we usually see in mid-August now. And to know that we are tapped out in getting resources at the federal level and trying to find them, and we're not alone in that, it means we got to do everything to prevent the fire from ever starting.
I've been coming up here for the past 2 years. Seems like this is, for lack of a better term, the new normal. These extreme conditions, the weather. What can be done? Is there anything that can be done in the future to kind of combat this? Is there a new approach? Is 1168 the answer? What can be done? Because it seems like this is what it's going to be moving forward.
So everybody always asks me, they asked me in 2018, they asked me in 2020, is this the new normal? And I think I had hoped in 2018 that the 2018 1,850 fires, 400,000 acres burned, that was an anomaly. But the reality is 5 out of the last 6 years have been catastrophic fire season. And with the exception of 2019, each year just keeps on getting worse and worse. And we're seeing the season starting earlier and going longer, and we're seeing the geography we're fighting fires much larger. It's no longer just an eastern Washington issue. It's an entire Washington issue, especially when you look at the drought conditions on the coast and in southwest Washington. We know that we're seeing a changing climate, and it's having a changing impact on our landscape and our landscape's ability to have enough moisture to prevent those fires from starting in the first place. I would say that I believe that we can't walk into this hopeless, and frankly we shouldn't, and that's why 1168 is there. We have a forest health crisis in eastern Washington. That forest health crisis is also spreading to western Washington, where we're seeing the dying off of our forests in huge scale, thousands of acres. You can go on the Okanagan Wenatchee forest, and it doesn't take a scientist to see there's a problem. My son, who's not a forester, looks at it and said, what happened? It's we have forests that are dying that are literally tinderbox on our landscape, and all it takes is a spark, and what might have been a 100-acre fire 10 years ago now quickly moves to thousands and thousands of acres. We have got to start to heal that landscape and make it more climate resilient to this changing climate, and also restore the health so that forests have a fighting chance. And if we can move at the pace and scale on forest health that wildfire moves, we will have a fighting chance to change the trajectory on of these catastrophic fires. But we can't sit back and say we're hopeless and there's nothing we can do. We have to say we're going to do everything to mount the effort and resources and come together as a community, come together as a state to say we're going to ensure the Evergreen State doesn't burn down, the Evergreen State stays green, the Evergreen State doesn't become charcoal black. And then I think the last piece that is really important, too often people feel hopeless. They're like, wildfires are here, firefighters are doing everything they can, there's nothing we can do. And I can't urge enough to the people of Washington State that 90% of our fires are caused by people. And we've seen in 2020 and 2021 a doubling of the debris pile burns. These are people in their backyards, these are people out in the landscape who are burning debris piles. The conditions are too hot and dry now in May and June and July for those kinds of activities. And so we need people to realize that how they used to engage on the landscape doesn't work right now when it's this hot and dry. And them to take that ownership and responsibility. And then I think the last part is communities like the one behind us, that where fire continues to burn and the risks are high. We have communities throughout the state that have higher risk than Paradise, California, and that risk is growing, and the number of communities that are at risk is growing as well. Is being able to take the steps to make those communities more resilient, to make those homes more resilient by creating that defensible space. I mean, we all learned in 15 months how to take steps to create defensible space around our bodies, to be able to protect ourselves, our families, our neighbors, our first responders. We now need to take on that same kind of responsibility in the case of wildfires, saying my home has the ability to be more resilient to fire, and I have a responsibility to take steps for myself and my family to keep safe, and for my neighbors, and for our first responders, our firefighters who are putting their lives on the line for us. I want to say thank you as you come up. I mean, it's a testament to our work. DNR could not be a successful fire agency if it didn't have every one of our local fire districts putting everything they have on the line to respond in a moment's notice. You help us be a better firefighting agency as you know your community, you know the challenges, you know the risks, and the partnership keeps getting better every single year. That's one of the good things about these fires is we learn each time and we improve each time. I'm thrilled about House Bill 1168 because we are going to be moving money down into our local fire districts like yours to ensure that you have the firefighters trained and ready, you have the equipment ready and needed, and we can be even stronger team together. So thank you for all your work.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yeah. Thank you so much. We are very excited about House Bill 1168 as well. As you can see from the landscape behind us here, we really appreciate the leader's intent from Commissioner Franz. Our cooperators' partnerships have never been better. The response from the Department of Natural Resources, Bureau of Land Management, Forest Service, local fire districts, and especially our local volunteers who all came in here. 234 structures threatened, none lost, and that is just a testament to the immediacy of the response from all the resources, the intelligence everybody applied to the tactics and the strategy, and the outcome is incredible. We're very blessed, and our cooperator relationship couldn't be better. So thank you, Commissioner.
I heard you almost lost Your home was at risk, and there are evacuations in this fire, besides you helping fight this fire.
Right, so I wasn't actually a part of fighting the fire, but I manage Omi Gardens, which has been around for 92 years now. So not only homes are at risk in these situations, but also history. So this is a garden that was built by a family. Their entire life, over 2 generations, was spent building this place. So we get 20,000 visitors a year. That's an asset to this county, also for tourism, but also just as a historical monument and a treasure that we have in the valley here. And so it's just amazing to see the work that the firefighters did. As I peeked out my bedroom window at night, and you could see it, off in the distance. And by the time I woke back up at 2:30, it's at our doorstep. We're being evacuated pretty soon afterwards in the morning. And it's hard to realize the amount of resources that are lacking. Me being a layman and just part of the community here, I wasn't fully aware of how little resources there were available. So getting those words out and trying to get other people, understanding what real risk is here. Because of the firefighters and the great job they do, we have people staying in their homes, not wanting to leave because they've been protected so well. That could be coming to an end, and so that's something we need to be letting people know. And I experienced that, firsthand, just right down over the ridge here. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Chuck Dronan, Managing Member at Eplodolin Retirement and Assisted Living. It's been a tough year for all of us, but especially for those working and living in senior care facilities. Over the course of these many difficult months, our staff at Eplodolin has been vigilant in adhering to federal and state guidelines to protect and assure the safety of our residents and their caregivers. If you're in need of assisted living for a loved one, give us a call at Eplodolin. We're here for you.
Are you a take charge kind of person? Consider a career as a health unit coordinator. You'll work to keep health facilities running efficiently by coordinating medical providers, patients, and departments. The Charter College Certificate in Health Unit Coordinator program can get you up to speed on basic patient care, health records management, health and safety procedures, and medical billing. And the 10-month online program includes a computer you keep. Get started at chartercollege.edu, where we work to get you to work.
Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. Home, where my thoughts are skating. Home, where my music's playing. Home, where my love lies waiting silently for me. Silently for me.
Happy summer from Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee. We are truly prepared for warm days with shorts, sports, capris, short sleeve tees, tanks, and sandals. We have special occasion dresses, jumpsuits, tops, and slacks for your upcoming event. Our Tommy Bahama department for men and women are summer favorites. New fall fashions are arriving daily. Brighton is releasing new summer collections of jewelry and handbags to enhance your wardrobe. We have amazing service and selection at Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
Okay, if you stand on your tiptoes, you can see the weekend from here. And what does Mother Nature have in store for us? Well, this. Sunny, warm, 92. Our normal high this time of the year is 90. We weren't even close to that yesterday. We only had 83 on Thursday. It was a very nice day, sunny and warm but not hot. Well, certainly warm today with that high of 92, 64 for the overnight low. We're at 66 right now, by the way, outside of our studios. High pressure is going to be large and in charge by Saturday with a high of 97 and then up to triple digits on Sunday and hovering right around that 100-degree mark or close to it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The last full week of July is almost upon us, and then here comes August. So get ready for more typical sunny and warm, well, who's kidding who, hot weather. Don't forget Apple Sox baseball tonight, pregame at 6:30, first pitch at 6:35. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.